I'm Courtney, the host of This Is Fine, Right? This podcast exists for the moment when you catch yourself asking that question, is this actually fine? If you're here, something in you already knows there's more to look at. And this is your permission to investigate it in your body, your emotions, your patterns, and the way you're living your life. We talk about chemistry, signals in the body, lived experience, motherhood, and how all these parts connect, not from a place of fixing yourself, but from understanding yourself. This isn't about you becoming the best version of you. Let's be honest. You're here because your body and mind already led you here. You don't need to be reinvented. You need clarity, direction, and encouragement as you stay in the driver's seat of your own health. I'm not your average gal pal. I get real, a little sciencey, and I'll help you learn how to work with your body instead of against it. So let's get into it. Okay, so today's episode is all about what I do. And the reason why I felt like this is important is because, well, it is important to know what you're doing when you are podcasting and what it is you're teaching people and also advertising. But I feel like the space, the wellness space is it's so saturated and it's grown so much that I was a bit intimidated, overwhelmed. And that was as a person who wants to help people who are feeling disease in their body. And when I was going through it on my own, it was extremely overwhelming in not knowing where to start because it felt like everything was off. And just trying to find the person that could tell me the thing and I could do the thing and I would be fine. And that's what I kept doing. I kept hearing the thing and then doing the thing and then that wasn't working. And then maybe that thing worked, but then it led to another thing and became this whole journey of over a decade. And so what I knew was that I wanted to be somebody who helped people not take over a decade to feel a sense of ease in the body. That's essentially what I want to do. And I knew that with that, it was going to take a lot of different things. It was going to be looking at digestion, looking at sleep patterns, looking at exercise that they're doing, looking at diets, looking at the actual physiology and chemical makeup of the person. And because I wanted to do all these things, I was struggling with my title and feeling like I needed to have a title because everybody else does. Like, what's my title? And here I am just like throwing things around like I'm a vitality coach. Because ultimately what I want my people to have is vitality. And then it was like, well, it's a little deeper than that. So I want to be an embodiment coach because I want people to fully embody who they are. Now, these aren't lies. This is what I actually want for my clients. But I felt like I was making myself stuck. I was like, if I give myself this title, then I have to make sure that everything I talk about comes right back to this and everything I do comes right back to this. And it was just getting loud and confusing and making me feel unaligned. So I don't have a title. I don't have a title for you. I just know where I want to get you, right? Like, the people that would need my help are usually identified as diseased, or they're feeling disconnected from their body, or, they're struggling with lots of different kinds of issues, autoimmune, fatigue, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, hormones, night sweats, emotional outbursts, all kinds of stuff. And what I realized too in my own journey was that, well, it's never going to be like one thing. It's going to be like, let's take this one thing, look at it based off of who you are as an actual person, not what it looks like in an average of everybody else, and learn how to understand it, listen to your body, interpret it, integrate it, and then give it what it needs. And most of the time, it will not only correct more than one thing, but it will probably lead to another thing. And in the end, you end up really changing your life. It's a big deal. So the work that I do, I simplify it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's easy. Yeah. So let me see if I can sum this up. So what I do is I teach people who feel disconnected or don't have an understanding of why their body might be acting in the way that it is. I bridge the gap between learning how to communicate I bridge the gap of understanding what your body is trying to tell you, getting the results from that, and then learning what to do about it. And this could look like a lot of different things. For me, I started off with an autoimmune skin condition. And then it went into things like bloating, constipation, fatigue, depression, and not understanding, of course, why this was happening. And then I learned how to use pH type testing to determine where I was at in the physicality department, in the sense of, am I functioning during the day in the state that I'm supposed to be during the day? Am I breaking down my food and my minerals? Is it methylating and going in the direction where it's supposed to go to fuel my body during the day? Am I in the state that I should be when I'm sleeping, where I'm regenerating and I'm building up my hormones, my cortisol, all the things that I'm going to need to get me through to the next day? And these tests will help you determine, one, if you're doing those things, and two, if you're doing them at the time that which you should be doing. So that alone puts you back in control and not having to outsource to everybody else to tell you either you're broken or you're not, and what's wrong with you, and, and what it is you should do. There's so much power in even just those simple tests that I'm going to teach you, and you being able to look at these tests, be able to look at the form that I'm going to give you and know how you are functioning inside. There is no average or comparison to the other. There's just you. And then once we do that, we move into identifying signals and patterns. And again, those signals and patterns could be, I fart all day. That was one of the things for me too. And good God, did they smell. And I'm burping. I feel like it doesn't matter what I eat, my stomach hurts. I'm bloated all day. People ask me if I'm pregnant. I go to the bathroom maybe once a week. All of these things are signals and patterns. Once we find your results, you can kind of see why these things might be happening. So you could see how just taking this one type of test can actually solve a lot of patterns and a lot of discomforts. And then we go from there. Like, I teach you how to embody everything about you. Let's look at your diet. Let's look at your exercising. Let's look at how you're sleeping. Let's look at what you're doing about your mental. What are you doing about the parts of you that are screaming at you, that are trying to be heard, that want to be integrated with you, not dug down and kept in the shadow dark side of you? All of those pieces matter. They all want to come with you to that next part of your life. There's something so powerful about knowing you on a level that nobody else does, and then accepting it about you. And that knowing when things go awry, that you're actually there to serve you. You're there to actually help you because you want to. You need to, and you know how to. It's so powerful that we're like, your purpose is not something outside of you. Your purpose is to know you on such a deep level that you actually get to have a life of quality. Not a life of just like, I hope I live as long as possible. I mean, that would be shit if you're living as long as possible, but you still feel like crap all the time. That's not living. That's surviving. What about thriving? Thriving because you understand how your body is functioning. You understand what it needs. You've had a conversation with all those parts of you, that inner child that you've maybe ignored for a really long time, that shadow part of you that you shove down and you think is so dark and ugly, but it's actually the one that advocates for you the most. That new woman you became because now you're a mom. And being a mom has brought out so many things about you emotionally that you never thought would come out. Like, okay, I have a 2-year-old child, but why am I now acting like a 2-year-old child? What's that? There's a reason. Our body has literacy. It has language. And you just need to know how to speak it. So that was another thing. I was like, maybe I'm a body literacy coach. It was just like all this stuff. But it's like, in the end, I want to help the people that want to be helped in a way that's actually supportive to them as an individual. Look at you as a whole. And like I said, it is not easy work, but it's vital. It's vital. And the sooner you can do it, the better. Because ultimately, we're going to consistently change. But just even like the simple tests that I teach, those go with you. So right now, I decided that the best way for me to do this is to offer one-on-one support. To literally take those people that are desiring the permission to be able to feel all of these things and have somebody hold space to walk them through it and understand all of these things they're going to feel, all these questions that they're going to have, because it's valid. And it's not because you're trying to be this person that's just annoying. It's because you're trying to be this person that cares about you. Nobody's going to care about you as much as you care about yourself. Nobody is coming to rescue you, because ultimately you have to choose to work with me. I ain't coming for you. I'm available when you're ready. Because it's heavy. And it should be. It's urgent. And it should be. Because you go to these doctors and they're like, they only know how to treat things. It feels like, I'm not a doctor, but it feels like they only know how to treat things that are like an emergency. And when it comes to like general health, they're like, you have IBS. Just stop eating this. Again, I've labeled this as irritable bitch syndrome is all that means. But what happens is, so they only treat things that are like an emergency, but what they don't realize that you're here because it is an emergency to you. This is every single day. You feel like this every single day. How is that not urgent? How is that not an emergency? So because you're not bleeding out on the table, all of a sudden you don't matter? What about the women that are waking up daily and they're crying because they've just had an explosion on their child who's now afraid of them, and they feel guilty because they themselves don't even know where that came from? What about the women that are so-called eating as healthy as they as crap, just basically eating dirt every day to try to be as healthy as they can, and they're working out 7 days a week. They're meditating, they're vibration plating. They're, mind you, I do a lot of these things, and putting all the right stuff on their face, but yet they're still so tired. And then they're tired of being tired. And they just don't want to anymore. Because what's the point? That's an everyday occurrence. That is not a quality of living. So these things are urgent. They're not small, because usually the small thing leads into all the other things. And now it's this big thing. And now it feels like life is happening to you. And you don't even get to be a part of your life. It's just whatever life wants to throw at you. That's shitty. Our purpose is to know our purpose. To know why we're here. And what I found is most of the time, it's figuring out the depth of who you are. The deeper you can get with yourself, the less everything else outside of you matters. Like even your children, right? Even your children. You're like, they mean more than I do. Not really, because your children need you in order to survive. And the good thing is when you learn to do this for yourself, you can teach it to your children. And then you can feel so much more confident that this child can go through life, one, knowing themselves, two, wanting to know themselves, and three, being able to advocate for themselves, because you've shown them time and time again that the love that you have for yourself matters so much. So my work is important. It's valuable. It's embodiment to the nth degree. And when you receive that type of embodiment, your vitality goes through the roof. So I don't know what to call myself. I'm not your average gal pal. I just want to help you take your body's truth, interpret it, and integrate it. I don't want to change you, reinvent you, become the best version of you. No. That version is in there, and it's telling you exactly what it needs. You just need to know how to interpret it. You just need a little assistance. Could be obviously me in your right-hand corner helping you. It could be guiding you into, okay, these are the supplements that will work for your body for a time being. This is the diet that's going to work for your body. These are the exercises that are going to work for your body. This is the type of therapy that's probably going to be best for integrating those parts of you. That's what we need. That's what I wish I had this whole time, was somebody that was able to, I get emotional, somebody that was able to look at me and think that I mattered more than the box that they were just trying to put me in. And I think that these people know that on a level, and they're just so desperate to have somebody tell them that they're worthy, that they're already enough. They're just misunderstood. So, I'm open to titles and I'm open to suggestions. But ultimately, that's what I do. And I think that the reason why I struggled and I went through everything that I did was so I could be right where I'm at right now. And my purpose wasn't to be here and help other people do this. My purpose was to find myself, which I did. And now I'm just going to go out and do a thing that feels aligned with who I am and help other people find that about themselves. So right now, I am offering a one-on-one private sessions, 6 weeks of guiding you through all those things. We're going to do some testing to get to know your chemical makeup. We're going to take those results, and I'm going to develop tools that you need to be able to integrate those things, whether it be supplements, exercising, how you sleep, diet, all of that. I'm going to meet you where you're at, tell you why you're where you're at based off of your physiology. And we're going to navigate getting you to love every part of yourself because nobody can tell you otherwise. So yeah, thanks for listening to this one. And I will see you guys next time. Or if you're listening, you'll hear me next time. I don't know if that makes any sense. Because I got some people that watch this on YouTube and I got some people that just listen to me. So I will hear or see you next time. Bye, guys. If something in today's episode resonated, you're always welcome to stay close. I write weekly letters and offer one-on-one support for people who want to understand their body more deeply, so they can keep listening, keep responding, and keep moving forward with clarity. My work is about helping you become your own healer in a way that's grounded in real life. All the links are below, and I'll see you next time.